are versatile kitchen tools that allow quick, precise slicing of fruits and vegetables. With adjustable blades, they create uniform cuts for salads, garnishes, and recipes. Compact and efficient, Mandoline slicers save time, enhance presentation, and make food preparation easier for home cooks and professionals. I give you real, honest product reviews to save your time and money. I break down pros and cons so you know exactly what's worth buying. Today, Top 10 Best Mandoline Slicers 2025. Hit subscribe and never miss a review show. Let's get started.
Number 10. Mueller Mandoline Slicer. For a low price, the Mueller Pro Series Multi-Chopper and Slicer promises a lot of versatility, but it gives inconsistent results. While it produces fairly even slices, you definitely have to put some elbow grease into creating them. It's hard to get a good grip, the mandolin moves around as you work, and you have to exert some pressure. This gadget consists of a rectangular plastic box with a lid into which you slide one of the blades, which include 2 for slicing, 2 for julienning, and 1 for grating. We found it a little tricky to install them. In addition, it comes with a special lid and 3 different dicing blades that convert this mandolin into an alligator cutter. You use the lid to force a half an onion or other food through a grid to produce little squares. We found it harder to press the food through than on other similar products we've used. You can place all of the parts in the top rack of the dishwasher. A little tool to clean the dicing blades is included.
Number 9. Xylus Food Cutter Slicer. The handheld Xylus 4-in-1 slicer grater comes with 4 attachments that snap into the cutting surface. 2 have slicing blades and 2 have grating surfaces, making this a versatile gadget. Both slicing blades are very thin but cut cleanly. Using the thinner one, we sometimes got uneven or, in the case of a ripe tomato, mangled results. All of the pieces can be tossed in the dishwasher for cleaning. For storage, they all snap together so that, although the mandolin may be a bit too bulky for a drawer, it won't take up excess space in a cabinet.
Number 8. OXO Handheld Mandoline Slicer. It's hard to beat the low price of the OXO Good Grips handheld mandolin. Plus, it's easy to use and small enough to store in a drawer. It works perfectly well for slicing cucumbers for a salad or apples to decorate the top of a French tart, as long as you don't use the thinnest settings. It's not the tool for an oversized eggplant or tough sweet potato. To use, slide a switch to select one of the 3 settings, the thickest of which is only 1/8 of an inch. After you're finished, you can toss the OXO in the dishwasher. The blade locks to prevent accidental cuts when you reach for it.
Number 7. Deboyer Revolution Dicing Machine. The Deboyer Revolution Dicing Machine, which is made in France, is by far the most expensive mandolin we tested, but we can't say it's worth the splurge. In all fairness, it has a sharp blade and a runway that's wide enough for an oversized eggplant. And if you slice without the handguard, carefully please, you can get good results. We found the handguard difficult to push. Food did not slide smoothly down the runway and it often jammed up in the blade. Plus, the slicing blade has micro serrations that leave tiny teeth marks on food slices. Of all the models we tested, this one can create one of the greatest ranges of thicknesses from thin enough to see through to 1/2 inch. However, there are no marked settings to ensure consistency. There are also lots of sharp edges on the frame, which make the Deboyer unpleasant to handle as you work.
Number 6. Full-Star Mandolin Slicer. The Full-Star Mandolin and Spiral Slicer 6-in-1 is an inexpensive gadget. It consists of a rectangular plastic bin with a surface on top into which you snap one of 2 slicing blades, a julienne blade, a grater, a ribbon blade, or a spiralizer. In addition to a handguard, the Full-Star comes with a cut-resistant glove. It's hard to get a good grip on the mandolin while you're slicing, as there's no handle and you do have to exert a good deal of pressure, but you can get clean slices for most foods, with the exception of ripe tomatoes. The julienne and grater blades also give good results, but we found the ribbon and spiral blades difficult to use and didn't deliver zucchini or carrot strips worthy of throwing in a salad or a sauté pan. All of the pieces can be tossed in the top rack of the dishwasher. A small brush is included for cleaning the spiralizing blade. Number 5. OXO Good Grips Mandoline Slicer. The OXO Good Grips V-Blade Mandoline Slicer stands steady on a leg that unfolds, but it's not as sturdily built nor as wide as the other standing mandolines we tested. While it gave better results than smaller, inexpensive models, the results weren't always perfect, especially on the thin setting. If you want long slices of eggplant or rounds of lemon, you need to stick to the thickest setting. On the side, there's a color-coded knob to choose a thickness level, ranging from 1/16 to 1/4 inch. There's also a little chart on the Mandoline that gives the thickness of each color setting in fractions of a millimeter and an inch. We found it tricky to select the settings as they're close together and impossible to click the dial into place for the thinnest one. The handguard has prongs that hold onto the food well, but it doesn't nestle into the hand.
Number 4. Ben Riener's Super Slicer. Ask any chef and they're likely to say a Ben Riener mandolin is in their knife kit. They like this Japanese mandolin for its convenient size and sharp blade. As it doesn't have legs, it's not bulky, but it has a wider runway than other handheld models, which makes it possible to slice large vegetables like Vidalia onions or eggplants. It doesn't have marked settings, but it can be adjusted to an infinite number of thicknesses, up to about 3/4 of an inch. While this gives you lots of versatility, it makes it difficult to be consistent from use to use. The Super Benariner comes with a better handguard than the original model, but the pros find it virtually useless. This one has spikes to hold onto food, but it's still small and not easy to grasp, which makes it very tempting to push a potato or a cucumber with your hand.
Number 3. Chef N Mandolin Slicing. Although the Chef N 4-in-1 glass mandolin created perfect slices of varying thicknesses, it was somewhat inconvenient to use. There are 10 thickness settings offered in this model that only range from 1/8 to 1/4 inch. The numbers and lines that indicate them are small and spaced very close together, so you have to squint to see them. The cutting surface is made of glass, which helps food move smoothly as you push it down through the blade. However, the prongs in the handguard don't grip food well if an item is larger than a lemon or a small onion, making it difficult to maintain steady pressure as you slice. The Chef N has 2 julienne settings and a crinkle blade that is housed in a slim protective sheath when it's not being used. By turning to the lock setting, you can prevent accidental finger decks.
Number 2. Dash Mandolin Slicer. The Dash Safe Slice has an unusual design. Unlike other mandolins, the food is placed inside an angled chute. While in use, neither hand ever gets anywhere near the blade, making this the safest mandolin you can buy. This design also helps you slice every last bit of food. A small container sits under the mandolin to catch the slices as they fall off the blade. However, the chute is only about 2.5 inches in diameter, so you need to halve or quarter many foods before you slice them. This means you can't get beautiful rounds of tomatoes or long slices of eggplant. This mandolin is better for small items like Brussels sprouts or radishes that are hard to slice on a traditional mandolin. It is sometimes difficult to position foods right up against the blade, leading to uneven or irregularly shaped pieces.
Number 1. Progressive Mandolin Slicer. Most home cooks will enjoy having the PrepWorks by Progressive Adjust-A-Slice mandolin in their arsenal for the occasional time when they need to slice evenly, perhaps to put out a pretty array of tomato slices for a buffet or slice onions for French onion soup. This handheld tool won't set you back a bundle and can easily be stashed in a kitchen drawer. It has a sharp blade and a nice wide runway. It's very easy to adjust the thickness of the slices by simply sliding a switch and changing it from slicing to julienning. With this mandolin, you don't get a huge choice of thicknesses. There are only 3 settings, and the thickest is just 3/16 of an inch. On the thinnest setting, as with all handheld mandolins, it's hard to get perfect slices, especially of juicy foods like tomatoes and lemons. It comes with a handguard that has spikes to anchor the food.